quite a few people reached out to me to translate and talk about Jimin's Weverse letters that he posted last weekend on the night of J-Hope's concert, Hope on the Stage final. Well, actually, very early morning the next day, like 5 a.m. And he posted this one, and then this one. And I thought a lot about whether I should cover this because after all, Jimin ended up deleting his messages, right? So right now, when we click on this link, Weverse link, it says page not found. Because the next morning at 11:56 a.m., he posted, I'm sorry or my bad and deleted them. And I thought about whether I should cover this because because he felt shy or worried that he had overshared after a drink. That's why he took them down. But then I thought, when I decide what to share or turn into content, I always ask myself one thing, does this help? Does this actually help us understand the artist better? And for this one, I truly believe that the answer is yes, because Jimin's words are super raw and warm and honest right here. And it gives us a glimpse of what was in his heart that night and how much he misses Army and how much he talks with Namjoon about it and how deeply they all still care about the connection that they are building with armies. So, after thinking about it for a few days and reading his letters multiple times, I chose to make a video because I think it says a lot about who BTS are and who Jimin is. Okay? So let me read the letters in Korean language first because I want to feel how it sounds, how it actually sounds, and I want to show you how it sounds too in Korean language, and then I'll do a translation. And then let's talk about it and ramble at the end. Alright, so first, this one. 안 보다 보면요, 참 보고 싶은데 저야말로 멀게만 느껴질 때가 있어요. 그러다 보면 보고 싶다는 말을 자주 하게 돼요. 근데 그 말을 자주 하면은 이 말이 무게가 없는 것 같아서 못하게 돼요. 그게 나이가 들어가는 건가 봐요. 참 웃기죠? 보고 싶다는 말을 하는 게 참 어려워지는 게. 근데 보고 싶어요. 그때가 그리워요. 마냥 즐겁게 보고 싶어요. 그때가 되면 제가 보고 싶었다고 땡깡 부려도 그러려니 해줘요. 참 아이러니하게 왜 암이라는 이름을 들으면 오해하라는 게 아니라 술을 찾게 된다? 죄송하단 말, 미안하단 말 싫어하는 거 아는데 점점 더 하게 돼요. 그래서 얼마나 궁금한지 알아요? 앞으로는 얼마나 많은 감사하단 말, 사랑하단 말, 미안하단 말, 죄송하단 말 많이 하게 될까요? 가끔은 그런 생각을 해요. 사랑한다는 말은 되게 작은 말이지 않을까? 근데 너무 달리할 표현이 없잖아. 뭐라고 해야 할까? 마지막은 그래서 존중이더라고요. 그래서 나는 여러분을 존중해요. 그리고 사랑합니다. 며칠, 몇 날 밤이 지나면 이 마음이 다 전해질까요? 아마 안 되겠죠? That's very adorable and heartwarming. Alright, so here it is, the translation. When I don't see you, I end up missing you so much. But honestly, there are times when even I feel so far away. And when that happens, I find myself saying I miss you more and more. But if I say it too often, I feel like the words lose their weight. So I stop myself. Maybe that's just part of growing older. It's kind of funny, isn't it? How saying I miss you has somehow become harder. But the truth is, I do miss you. I miss how things were. I want to see you in the happiest, most carefree way. So when that day comes, if I cling to you and say how much I missed you, please just let me be. It's so ironic. When I hear the word army, don't get me wrong, but it makes me want to have a drink. I know you don't like it when I say I'm sorry or forgive me. But I found myself saying it more and more. Do you know what I wonder? How many more times in the future will I say thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, forgive me? Sometimes I think maybe I love you is actually such a small phrase, but there's no other word that says it better. So in the end, what's left for me is respect. That's why I respect you all, and I love you. Do you think this feeling will ever reach you fully, no matter how many days and nights pass? Probably not, right? So, yeah, man. He starts with, if you actually look at what he says, he starts with an honest paradox, right? When I don't see you, I miss you. But sometimes even I feel far away too. 안 보다 보면요, 참 보고 싶은데 저야말로 멀게만 느껴질 때가 있어요. And this is beautifully vulnerable, because he admits that he himself sometimes feels emotionally distant from ARMY, and that this makes him want to say 보고 싶다, I miss you. 보고 싶다. Oh, that wasn't. I wonder what he felt like when he, was watching J-Hope and Jin performing Spring Day. Anyways, I was being going tangent. So and that this makes him want to say 보고 싶다 even more. I miss you. But he worries that repeating it will make it lose its weight. And this is so Jimin, careful with words, aware that his sincerity should feel real every time. And he softly wonders, maybe that's part of getting older. And it's subtle but very relatable, realizing that innocent phrases like I miss you become more complex as you mature because life and distance give them extra weight. And for fans who have grown up alongside BTS, especially, this hits harder, because it's a reminder that both sides, like artist and fan, have matured together. And one of the most revealing lines in this letter for me is this one. It's ironic. When I hear ARMY, I feel like having a drink. And he clarifies that it's not a negative thing. 오해하지 말고. But it shows a human side that the word ARMY stirs up so many tangled feelings in Jimin that he turns to a drink, maybe to relax the knots in his heart, so to say. And it's such a soft confession that the bond with fans is so deep that it can be overwhelming sometimes. And this part, I know you hate when I say sorry, but I keep doing it more and more. 죄송하단 말, 미안하단 말 싫어하는 거 아는데 점점 더 하게 돼요. And this is also classic Jimin. He knows that fans don't like hearing 미안해 or 죄송해요, I'm sorry, or forgive me, because they want him or armies want him to feel loved and guilt-free. Yet he can't help but feel apologetic anyway. And this shows a very persistent sense of responsibility and gratitude that he cannot shake off. And when he says, sometimes I think maybe I love you is actually a small phrase, but there's really no better word for it. So in the end, what's left is respect, 존중. And there's actually a BTS song singing about respect, right? RM and Suga. And this is so profound because he feels that 사랑해요, I love you, is too simple to fully capture what he wants to say. So for him, 존중해요, I respect you, is the ultimate expression. It tells ARMY that you mean so much to me that even love alone isn't enough. So I respect you, or I honor you too. And for Korean culture, where 존중 is a pretty serious adult word, this is kind of big. It's like his recognizing the relationship has matured beyond fan to idol relationship. It's become mutual respect, so to say. And this part, will this feeling reach you fully after countless days and nights? Probably not, right? so here he closes the letter with a soft sigh, almost to say, no matter how many ways he says I love you, thank you, sorry, he still wonders if it ever fully reaches armies, reaches us, reaches fans. And that longing, that slight sadness in his voice is what makes fans ache for him, while reading this letter. So yeah. And then 3 minutes later he posted this. 저 술 마셨고 그냥 예전에 썼던 글 보면서 이게 맞춤법이 맞는지 모르겠고 올렸는데 자고 일어나서 문제 있으면 지울게요. 그 보고 싶다는 생각을 오늘 엄청 하면서 그 말을 계속해서 남준이 형이랑 둘이서 얘기하다 방금 헤어졌어요. 아무튼 간에 그냥 너무나 사랑합니다. 오늘 호비 형 콘서트 보고 제일 행복했고 제가 나중에 오늘만큼의 행복을 드릴 수 있다면 너무 좋을 것 같아요. 사랑해요. 그 남준이 형이 우리 리더잖아요. 남준이 형 진짜 아미 제일 사랑해요. 저도 사랑해요. So, to be translated, I had a few drinks tonight, and I ended up reading an old letter I wrote. Honestly, I don't even know if my spelling is right, but I just posted it anyway. If I wake up and feel like it was too much, I'll take it down. I've just been thinking I miss you so much today. 남준 형 and I spent the whole night talking about it, and we only just said goodbye a little while ago. Anyway, I just love you all so much. Watching Hobi Hyung's concert tonight made me the happiest, and if one day I can give you just as much happiness as I felt tonight, that would mean so much to me. I love you. And Namjoon Hyung, he's our leader, right? He really, truly loves ARMY more than anyone. And I do too. I love you so much. Damn. So, yeah, I mean, in the second letter, right away he admits that I drank. And I don't even know if my spelling is right, but I'm posting anyway. And in fact, when you enter these letters into spelling or grammar checking machines, yeah, he did make some quite a few grammatical or spelling errors, but it's totally fine, right? Because especially the first letter, he also attached this screenshot to the first letter, and it says text note. And it shows the beginning portion of this letter. And I think maybe he's using a smartphone, Samsung Galaxy, because I use Galaxy as well. And if you type in notes, there's a note app, and it looks exactly like this. So, and it says text note 1207. I wonder how many notes that he wrote about him. Armies on his smartphone. But anyways, what I'm saying is that this letter was never meant to be shared publicly or with fans. But maybe, I don't know, in the middle of night, he wasn't able to hold his emotions, and he couldn't help but pour out his emotions into letters, into words. That's why he stored all these feelings inside his smartphone. And then that night, because the feelings were so overwhelming especially after feeling all the love from armies during J-Hope's concert, he ended up posting it right onto Weverse before eventually deleting it, though, right? And this disarming honesty, saying I had a few drinks, I don't even know if my spelling is right, but I'm posting it anyway. That disarming honesty is so Jimin. Again, his tipsy aware is pretty late and messy, but the emotion wins over polished words. That's why he posted it, right? And then when he said, I kept talking about it with Namjoon Hyung, RM, over and over tonight, and we just parted ways. This shows how seriously BTS discuss their relationship with ARMY among themselves. It's not just a stage line, when they say we love armies, I love armies. Even in private, they sit together, drink a little, and discuss and confess how much they miss that relationship, that bond between themselves and armies. So that's quite striking. And he casually writes, Namjoon Hyung is our leader, right? And doubles down here. Namjoon Hyung really, truly loves ARMY more than anyone. So, yeah, even when he's drunk and soft, Jimin is careful to lift up RM's role, like um, reinforcing that Namjoon is not just their leader, but the emotional um, anchor for both BTS and ARMY. So, and then when he said, watching Hobi Young's concert tonight made me the happiest. And if one day I can make you as happy as I felt tonight, that would mean everything to me. I love you. Like, it just shows us how much he misses performing before armies, right? He just cannot wait. And then, of course, after, yeah, so the corrected version would look like the one on the right. The one on the left is the original version, but the one on the right is the corrected version. The spellings and grammar mistakes, but that's fine. And he quietly left a short 죄송합니다, I'm sorry, the next morning, 11:56 a.m., before deleting both posts. So, yeah, to put simply, this little 5 a.m. letter shows how Jimin never stops wondering if he's giving enough back to his fans, to armies. And it shows that he trusts ARMY enough to share such raw thoughts, that he will probably hide when he's sober. And he reminds everyone that BTS, at their core, are still 7 brothers who talk for hours about how much they miss being close to their fans. And we have talked about how RM, during his Weverse live, shared such honest and raw feelings with his fans, right? And this is incredible because I don't know, if I were, a public figure like RM or Jimin or BTS members, I don't know if I'll be able to share such raw feelings. I'm not sure if I share such feelings with my family members even, So this is such an incredible thing that these guys are doing. And yeah, I was quite moved when I read these letters, even though it's quite so Jimin and adorable. And one more thing. So like I think I talked about this during my review of J-Hope's concert, but while I was watching Hobi's concert at home streaming, one of the friends I was with mentioned that one of her coworkers is actually ARMY, and she never stops telling her how lovely and kind Jimin is. And reading his late night letter made me think, oh, of course. No wonder armies adore him so much. Because, yeah, because this is exactly who he is. Soft-hearted, sincere, sometimes shy, but always overflowing with love for armies. And he really genuinely loves armies. And moments like this remind me just how deep that goes. And yeah, once again, BTS members, BTS is one of a kind. And we'll see how much more they will express in the future for armies, for their fans. All right. So there we go. I hope this was, informative for you. And maybe your interpretation of his letters are different. So feel free to share in the comments. And when you do so, let's stay positive, respectful, and classy. Let's see. D4 until the full reunion. Peace and love. Bye-bye.